Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss some important people from craft bourbon. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Tim Swaya and Ryan Thompson.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey,
what's up, guys?
Doing good. Things are well, and should be a fun show today. We're going to be talking about some important people from the world of craft bourbon. We'll get to that, though, after the break. For right now, McNew said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, McNew?
Okay, so another music question for you guys. What do you think is the best duet of all time?
Best duet.
Best duet of all time.
Okay. Best duet.
I'm going to hate myself for this. David Bowie and Mick Jagger. We all allowed it to happen. You all know it. We shouldn't have let it happen, but it did.
I don't know if that's the best, Tim. Come on.
The best?
Yeah,
that's the best.
Best.
That's the
the
best.
one
We
where
all loved it.
We
all loved it. We all let it run. We all were happy about it.
No.
What about
part and you're singing both parts? Like, it is the best duet of all time.
David Bowie and Bing Crosby, The Little Drummer Boy, the Christmas song?
What do you want? What's a Christmas song?
That's the best duet of all time. Yeah.
Steve, I'm kicking you out of the car if that comes on. No.
Well, I don't listen to duets. I'm sorry. I'm not a country person. Isn't that a country thing? I mean,
a little bit.
How many duets are you hearing from classic rock music? It's not really a thing.
Or a collaboration, like were there bands that did stuff together?
No.
Okay.
It's not really that much of a thing. It's just not. It's
so
not a rock and roll thing.
I didn't really think of it that way, but maybe.
Yeah.
Since this is a whiskey podcast, we have to go with Tennessee Whiskey by Dean Dillon, although he did not sing it. He wrote the song. And when Stapleton, and I'm not a big fan of Justin Timberlake necessarily, but Stapleton and Timberlake knocked Tennessee Whiskey out of the park.
They knocked it out of the park. That was fantastic.
And it's a whiskey podcast, so there you have it, huh?
I think that's a good answer. That's a great answer.
Thank you.
Huh. What about Dire Straits when Sting just did the "I Want My MTV"? That just opened the song. Does that count as a duet? And then if so, that's the best one of all time.
I like that song.
Sting and Dire Straits, yeah. Money for nothing, chicks for free.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Good
I changed my answer, and that's what it's going to be. Whether McNew accepts it or not. For God's sakes, we just did a show where you had to pick one thing, and she picked two. She set her own rules, so I'm going to set my own rules.
Steve, there were no parameters here.
Yeah. Does anyone else, Tim? What was yours? Did you have one?
I was going to say 5 o'clock somewhere, Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett,
That
since
one
we
is-
are talking about a drinking show.
That's on my host and host playlist.
Oh, God. Okay. So far, clearly I'm winning. All right, go ahead, McNew. What do you got?
All right. So I like one where you can sing both parts, and clearly it is Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow's Picture.
That's a good one, McNew. I'm with you.
I don't know that song.
What?
No,
That is a good one.
Song. I never heard
Steve
it.
only knows like 4 songs.
How have
It's
you
true.
not heard Picture?
I'd never heard it. I didn't know Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock worked together. This is news to me.
It was post breakup with Lance Armstrong after he found out that
she
found that he was lying. She had a bad boy stint there for a while with Kid Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
She
think they
dated
were
Kid Rock,
ever. No.
Bob Ritchie.
Wow, Steve. I'm impressed.
I'm saying you've heard this song, Steve. I'm
With the
sending
No,
bar.
I've never heard it. 100%. I don't listen to that stuff. I like Kid Rock actually, but I don't like all the when he gets into he's going to do country and he's going to do all this stuff.
Yeah, well, so it's not really country. It has like some country vibes, but no, it's picture because it's so good. Like you got to do both parts when you're in the car. Like it's like whenever I'm in the car, it's like a 2-hour concert featuring me. But you do both parts. That's why it's an iconic duet.
It's iconic.
Pretty good one. I'm with you, McNew.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Ryan thinks it's wonderful. So yeah, fair enough. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, on that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? McNew's starting.
I have some Alias Rye from MGP. Nothing.
No. MGP. So it's sourced from them. It's not one of their private brands. I never heard of this. Yeah.
I don't use
okay. All right. Tim, what do you got?
Just get me out of the way. I am still working on my 10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirit Company bourbon at the single barrel at the ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay. No. Right now, Tim and McNew are tied with nothing. Ryan, this could be a good opportunity for you to take the lead.
Let's see what we got here.
The door's open.
Throwing it down to one of our homies down at Denver, a little Ironton, Colorado Straight rye malt whiskey here, 86 proof there. Let's see what we got.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good one.
Ryan has the lead right now, and he's excited about that. I've got still 630 here. This is their Rally Point Rye, the 5-year. This one's from 2022. So here we go. Oh, explosive. Are you guys okay? Yeah, that's another victory for me.
Oh my gosh. That's as good as I get. Cheers.
Oh yeah, you were close. You were very close. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about important people from the world of craft bourbon. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Steve
Daily.
Bosnot and
Jim Bosnot.
we are recording the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about important people from craft bourbon.
Yes, we are. So, who do you guys want to throw out there? Who do you think for the world of craft? That's a tough one.
Can I throw out a group of people that have influenced the craft distillery movement? Probably more so than any other group of people have in the last 10 years.
Okay.
The kind folks at Moonshine University.
Moonshine University.
Good
Okay.
one.
Done.
How about that? You know, I mean, I don't know how many people have gone through their class that have started, or how many distilleries have started from their students, but I know it's getting on up there.
It's getting up there.
And a lot of notables. So I think throwing them out there to start the conversation off. Hey, oh, look at there.
There you go. That's his graduate picture right there. That's a necklace you had on there. What is
Tim,
that?
you didn't throw yourself
That's a microphone, Steve.
party when
It's
you
a microphone. Look how surprised he looks. So look at this look of surprise. on Ryan's face. I
The
passed.
young
Ryan,
pup, Ryan.
Right there,
Thomas.
right
Look at
before
him.
they're like, Ryan, you passed. And look at his look. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Surprise.
Surprise. It's just unbelievable. Look at the facial hair, too. He's he's
So yes,
rocking
I
it.
am a graduate of Moonshine University, if you
Look
will.
at that, yeah.
And they have one of the most valuable things of McNew is the relationships you build from it, and they just have they're very kind, they're very supportive, educational. So I think they are on up there with the important people of craft bourbon, if you will.
Okay. They're up there. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That seems well thought out. All right. Who else? The world of craft bourbon.
I would like to throw out Paul and Mary Beth Tomaszewski over at MB Roland.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
I think they were craft Kentucky before Kentucky had
there was a
craft.
such thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We've got their barrel picks in right now, and that's the story we're telling people. I mean, you think of Kentucky and you think, well, okay, they're all of them been doing it 200 years. No, they haven't. There's the handful that, yes, they're old. Then the rest are new, and the leaders of this new pack is MB Roland. I mean, they were the first craft bourbon people. So
I don't think they
in
get
Kentucky.
enough attention the way they should, because like they're not Louisville, Lexington, and KY. Like they're down there near
with
Tennessee.
you on that.
Right.
They're-
100%. Pembroke is out of the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost to Tennessee too. I mean, it's literally a couple exits.
That's
from
where
Tennessee.
I found them. That's where I drove through. I was driving down Nashville for a business trip in the last October, and stopped down Pembroke before I cut over to our friends over at with Kaylee and Leather Ridge, their property is just beautiful. And
Right.
they're growing, they're doing their thing. They got some little construction there, but they're taking their time. They're doing it right. They're letting the whiskey speak for itself, and they're a farm distillery when it comes down.
And
to
they
it.
have
They're-
distillery dogs instead of cats. They have a
They
cat,
got cats. Yeah, they got a cat. Yeah.
but they have dogs.
They have one or two cats. I think they got two cats, so they're equal on the cats and dogs. I think they got two cats and two dogs.
I don't usually get a distillery dog though. It was exciting.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations on the distillery dogs. Yeah. Way to go! All right. Who else is important for the world of craft?
I wrote down Gary Heingardner. That man is a
Oh,
of knowledge
yes.
on any subject. I could be like, Gary, let's talk about UFOs today, and he'd be like, they affect the corn this way. Like he just like knows everything.
Get
about it.
this. So I call Gary. I asked him to come in and to do a presentation, and he's like, "Steve, I got a lot going on. Do you mind if it's a different representative from the brand?" I said, "Gary, this isn't anybody else from the industry
No,
calling
we
here.
might-
This is Steve Akeley. You got to come and do this." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I'll be there. So yeah. So, but get this. He was not in St. Louis. He was in Kentucky. And I thought, were you visiting some distilleries? He's like, no. One of the big guys called Gary because they're growing corn to make for their stuff, and he's the expert, and that's who they called in. It's unbelievable. I'd like to say, I mean, I could tell this group off the air, but I don't want to, I don't know if he's allowed to say, so I don't want to say on the air, but it's cool. One of the big guys brought him in, and
No, so like he's really just that knowledgeable though. Like whether it's corn or the oak or literally anything, he is so knowledgeable, and
This
it
is
is
true.
mind-blowing to me all the things he knows.
yeah, I do think he's somebody that's very important for the world of craft bourbon. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. And if this heritage thing comes through, well, it'll just be even more of that. So yeah,
Right.
well. Who else from the world of craft bourbon? Who bubbles
Well,
up
I
and
think
goes
there's
beyond
that guy named Steve Akeley out there that's making a dent in the
I
world
was
of
going to
craft
say
bourbon
there.
too. So,
We're going to go there.
Oh,
Mhm.
come
the
on
guy
now,
the guy who cared about craft
bourbon.
bourbon before when no one else did.
When nobody else.
Not the guy who jumped on here recently. I've been doing that from day one. My first show ever, if you go back to 2016, my first show ever was with the craft bourbon distillery. Heck yeah, I've supported craft from the get go.
I think your name's right on up there, my man.
I'm not new to this. No, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Well, thank
That's
you.
your first rodeo. You're not just coattailing. Everybody's coattailing on the Steve Akeley guy.
That's
And
true.
that's very true. Very true.
I'd like to throw in, I'd like to throw in Alan Bishop for what he's doing that keeping the respect into the grain and focusing on that and being out there doing his thing. But I also want to throw out Royce Neely. I know he's a friend of, a lot of these folks are friends of the program. You hear about them a lot because that's what we enjoy the most. But what Royce has been able to do in the short period of time that he's done it in, I think is something short of amazing. You kind of throw a little line off from Stephen Fonte. Well, Stephen Beam ends up winning a gold medal for his corn whiskey. He didn't even dust off the still. Look what Royce is doing with new products himself, with his absinthe, with what he's got going on, with everything else he's got going on, doing out entering stuff, winning awards left and right for what he's doing and how they've grown. It's pretty impressive watching the next generation of folks really starting to pick up.
Yeah. Who else?
I want to say your list because like their barrel picks, their store picks, those gift shop picks, their flavor profiles are always so like bonkers and interesting. They don't have bad picks. And that's a hard thing to say for a lot of places. Like they've never.
So you just want to give it to like the team, the whole, Caleb and and John and everybody there.
They're picking good picks.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a cool thing for sure.
Yeah.
Important in the world of craft bourbon, I think that Lisa Wicker. We talked about her on the other show, but just important in bourbon. But when you're talking about craft, I mean, she works for a craft distillery now. She's involved in helping other craft distilleries. I think she's just good across the board and with what she does, and I think she is one of the key people right now in the world of craft bourbon for sure.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else is out there?
Anybody? I think Tim mentioned earlier as well, though. But you got to throw out Dave Pickerell, rest in peace, right? But he certainly had his hand in helping a number of craft distillers, craft bourbon guys get off the ground. So,
yeah. I don't know that there's ever been anybody more important than Dave.
Yeah.
We helped over 100 distilleries. I mean, that's huge. I mean,
it's incredible, right? Yeah.
Nobody's picked up that mantle either from him. I mean, it's something that, I mean, it's just nobody like him.
Yeah.
So,
he was a special one for sure.
Yeah. So he is definitely was unique for the business for sure. Anybody else out there?
I mean, for the historian in me starts speaking out, but love him or hate him, what Glens Creek's doing now with Dave Meyer and John Kemper down there at the Old Crow Distillery, those grounds, trying to preserve what they have there, trying to find pieces of history and continue to preserve it, but also making stuff off of what they got, the products that they're building off of there, truly making their own stuff, fabricating their own stills and everything like that. If you haven't been down to that place, folks, I think it's worth giving an example of what it's like on a shoestring budget of what products are kicking off, what they're trying to do, and how to keep that place open.
Okay.
I think the history there that they've been able to find when they blew the whistles, the hourly whistles, or when the shifts are over, they found the whistles that were there. They actually connected to a compressor and just blew the whistles out from the Old Crow Distillery. Last time probably blown in early 80s, late 70s.
Yeah.
Being able to salvage that, but the salvage yard they bought it from didn't find them, and being able to find some of those pieces of history left over and try to keep it alive, so to speak, I think is telling for the investments that they're making in the product and helping to continue to tell the stories.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Also, Alex Castle at Old Dominic, like she's a lady kicking ass, and I think she gets ignored in bourbon because she's Tennessee, so like she gets associated with like Tennessee whiskey. She's still making bourbon, and she's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good one. She just was in St. Louis doing a pick. So yeah. Hopefully more good things happening for her for sure.
Yeah.
The last one I want to acknowledge is a guy that I work with, and because he, and I get maybe more credit for the stuff we do than he does, but it shouldn't be that way because the true talent of the ABV Network film is Bo Cumberland. I mean, the stuff that he does. Preserving this history where future generations can see it. And again, we focus on craft as much as anybody. And the fact that we're capturing the stuff is very cool. And I think he's way more important than he probably even knows.
Yeah, so
absolutely. Kudos to Bo for sure.
Yeah,
that's a great call.
Like his American Spirit journey, like his 10-minute bourbon tours.
Yeah, all that stuff is good.
He is doing so many fascinating, like just quick video projects. Like, please go follow Bo if you're not, because he's doing really cool shit.
Yeah, for sure.
If you really want to hear about Bo, listen to his Rate My Whiskey collection as well. You really get insight into Bo on that episode.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Or any of the hundreds of episodes where we talked about his pants falling down.
But he goes great. Like, so his YouTube, what is it? Like My American Spirits Journey?
I think so,
right,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I follow him on YouTube, but follow his YouTube. He does like quick bourbon tours, like bourbon people, really, really cool, interesting things, like a couple deep dives. Like, just go follow him. It's very much worth your time.
Follow Bo Cumberland. He's very talented. So on that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We'll start with you, Tim. Where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
All right, Ryan.
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey, and our website's 10thwhiskey.com. It's 10th whiskey with an E.
All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website. Check that one out, abvnetwork.com. That's a good one. We've got everything that we do out there, so please check that out. Also, if you get the chance, you're in St. Louis, come by and see us, ABV Barrel Shop. We got a lot going on. You may want to get on our website first, abvbarrelshop.com, see if we got any classes. A lot of times we get distillers in. I know we've got distillers booked for like the next 2 or 3 months on Saturdays, literally every Saturday. So it's something that we do. So you never know who's going to be there. So
Steve, in your email, it looks fun.
Yeah. We got the meet the makers thing going on, and those are really cool. You see the passion, you get to taste the products that they make. You learn about the brands, you learn about the people, not only them but the other people that work with them. It's really cool stuff. So please check us out at abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, But if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.